There we go. Okay, so welcome to everybody. Feel free to chat questions to each other, to me, whatever. And if somebody wants to butt in anytime and ask a question, please feel free to do that. This is very informal. So I want you to just take information from this that you can share with other people, and hopefully that will help out. Let's see if anybody's trying to get in. Oh gosh, somebody just wants to get in. Let's use her phone. Give me just a second. I'm going to text her the information so she can access this with her phone. Give me just a second. There's the link. And she'll be joining us too. Okay, so I got to turn off my phone. Okay, so welcome to my class. Let me make sure I am recording good. This is a Slim and Sassy weight loss class, and Slim and Sassy is a reference to, of course, some doTERRA product, but a lot of the information you're going to get in this class have nothing to do with doTERRA. It just simply has to do with lifestyle and other choices we make, right? So in case we haven't met, I think I've met most of you before. My name's Ginny, and you know what I like doing is supporting people who are trying to improve their health. We're all trying to improve our health. You know, perfection is very hard to obtain, so we're always working on ourselves, right? I think most of you know me pretty well. I'm a wellness advocate with doTERRA. I'm also a health advocate, and I've spent 30 years in the organic industry, really promoting health as much as possible, learning and sharing with other people. It's just kind of like what I'd like to do. Again, I want to give the standard disclaimer, which is the FDA disclaimer states that these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and this product is not intended, so when we talk about products, it's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. So I want to talk to you about, let's talk about some doTERRA things. So welcome. And so what we want to do is we need to commit. We're conditioned to believe that losing weight is really hard or even impossible, right? We typically begin a new diet with a belief that it's not going to work. And then, you know, not unexpectedly, we become more cynical about achieving health when the plan falls short of our goals. And all the newest fads or miracle pills on the market really promise a perfect body, but the results speak louder than words. And we've all been through this. I mean, who here, by raise of hand, so you can, at the bottom of your screen, there's actually a raised hand or a thumbs up. Tell me if you have, in the past, tried some kind of diet of some sort.
I can't see it.
Yeah, at the bottom of your screen should be a little thumbs up or thumbs down. Where is that exactly? Does anybody want to speak up?
You have to, if you're on your phone, you have to hit the more button, and then it brings it up and you hit raise hand.
Reaction.
Oh wait, there's also a thumbs up.
Yeah, on a computer, it's reactions. It's under reactions. So yeah, it's helpful to know, you know, if people have tried this in the past. So I see full thumbs up. Yes, it is hard. It's a very difficult thing, and a lot of us have been through it. And we may have been trying to lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds. Bonnie's here with us, and I really kind of want to, Bonnie, I think later on I want you to share your story, because your story is miraculous. She's lost well over 200 pounds, and I want
over
her
242 pounds at this point.
So sometime in this presentation, I would love to call on you to share everybody so they can hear what your experience was. So we'll talk about this, and then I'm going to have you speak, Bonnie, if that's okay with you, if you feel like sharing.
Oh, yeah, that's fine with me.
Awesome. Okay. So we see there's fads out there. There's miracle pills, right? And they promise us so much, and we may try those. I mean, we're all desperate, so we're trying things even if we're pretty sure they're not going to work, right? Because we're going to give anything a try. So again, some of us may even hit our goals with those pills or these programs, but it's sustaining that goal where we tend to struggle. So you lose the weight, and then we struggle trying to sustain that and keep that weight off. And it's because weight loss really is a lifestyle change. It's not an accomplishment. It's not like you begin and you end and you're done, right? It's a new way to operate. It's a new way you make decisions, and it's a new way to live. It's not about really starving yourself or creating these unsustainable limitations. It's about using the right essential oils along with eating clean, doing moderate exercise, and managing stress. Those are the things that seem to affect our ability to shed weight and our ability to keep weight off. So during this time together, we're going to kind of learn what to do in order to achieve that desired outcome. And you'll get a chance to purchase a product that will become a catalyst for you, that will really help you with your goals. So what you need to do first is make the commitment. You guys are all here, so that means you're interested. You are thinking, maybe I want to lose weight. Maybe you have friends who want to lose weight, even if it's not you, and you want to help them out. So you guys have all made that commitment already by being here. And you want to take some kind of action. You want to make a change in your life. And I want to help you, because we all deserve to be healthy. We all deserve to be at our ideal weight. And don't try to shoot for the moon. I mean, don't look at yourself and decide, hey, I want to be a stick figure. You know, first of all, that's not terribly healthy in the first place, even though society may think that that's how we want to look. And also, it may not be obtainable. We are very different people, and some people cannot have that body. Don't look for something you can't have. Just look for something that's going to keep you healthy. So let's talk about, sorry, it's a little bit bulky going from slide to slide. I'm doing my best here. Okay, so let's talk about body fat. So what is body fat? So before we dig into that sustainable weight loss plan, I want to kind of give a background on, you know, the fat, right? Body fat cells. So that's the adipose cells, or adipocytes, I think they're called, something like that. And these are the specialized cells that contain a large droplet of lipid or fat, so large, in fact, that it squeezes the nucleus and other cell structures to the side of the cell. So the number and size of fat cells vary from one body structure to another, and from one person to another. And these clusters of fat cells make up our adipose tissue, which we call body fat, right? And fat has several really important functions in the body. We do need fat, and we all have fat. We have to have that. Fat is our protection or padding for our vital organs, and it structures and the structures in our body. It's like a shock absorber in our body when we experience physical impacts of life. So when we're walking or running or sitting or falling, you know, fat is helping us. Can you imagine sitting if you didn't have any fat? We all have fat to sit on, guys. And I can't imagine if you were really, really, really underweight, what sitting must be like, right? Because we have that padding there, and it's meant to be there. It's to protect our bodies. So high amounts of the adipose tissue are stored beneath the skin, you know, around your stomach, your hips, your bottom, and that is giving you protection for those vital organs. Now, second function of fat is really giving insulation, and that helps slow the heat loss through your skin. Again, a very important thing. We can't have no fat because we're going to be cold. We're not going to be able to maintain a good body temperature. And even people with very low body fat, so you're thinking about your athletes, and you know how sometimes you'll hear somebody say, I have 10% body fat. Well, that's actually associated with a really low body temperature, which is not healthy. So we want to maintain that constant body temperature within that narrow range, which is really critical. So enough fat, but we don't want to have too much fat, right? And then a third primary function of that adipose or fat tissue is energy storage. So our bodies make energy from the food we eat, and we all know this, right? And although our use of energy is constant, our food intake is not. So our bodies have several ways that it stores energy for constant use. And one of the primary sources of that stored energy is in the body fat. So gonna alarm you a little bit here. We got the alarming statistics, which we got to talk about. Whoops. Got it. Okay. So the alarming statistics, and you guys have heard some of these before, I am sure. Let me move this out of the way. Give me a second. I lost my place completely. Can't find my window again. We've all been there too, right? Where'd my window go? Okay, here it is. Okay. So the alarming statistics, of course, we are aware of, and I think we've discussed this even in some of my other talks. I've discussed this. It's estimated that over 65% of the adult population in the U.S. is overweight or obese, and outside the United States, the picture does not get much better. So more than half of adults in the developed nations are also estimated to be overweight, and sadly, about 15% of all children in the developed world are also overweight. And that number is expected to increase significantly in the near future. Obesity is a kind of a global health epidemic, and it's associated with a dramatic rise in diseases, which we've seen: diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, cancer. We don't want to be a part of that statistics. I think everybody would agree on that. You don't even have to take a poll on that. We don't want to be a part of that statistic. And many of our health challenges are really lifestyle related. So with better decision making, we have the potential to avoid these things in the first place. So that's preventative healthcare versus reactive sick care, right? Now, you are not a caveman. And this goes back to, why do we gain weight the way we do? So there's many factors that contribute to being overweight or obese, and the factors can be very complex. They can involve extenuating health conditions, but for most, the weight gain in the form of excess fatty tissue results really from those poor lifestyle habits and choices that we've made. And one theory of unhealthy weight can really be kind of metaphorically described as the caveman syndrome. The two basic concepts of this theory are that your body does not believe your food supply will be constant, and your body believes you will have to work very hard to obtain your food. Now, if we operate on these two assumptions, what does your body do? It tells you to feast on food when it's available. And it tells you to eat foods that are packed with calories because those are easily converted to energy, because that belief your body has is that you will likely be chasing more food or being chased as food in the very near future. And when you eat food, your body uses what it needs for immediate energy to support the vital life functions, of course, and it stores the rest as fat in case you encounter the need to go without food in the future. Now, interestingly, your body also tells you to conserve your stored energy, we'll call that stay on the couch, for a future date when you'll have to travel great distances and exert great effort to find more food. And although a great energy conservation strategy for a caveman, the problem with these fundamental working assumptions your body has is that we're not cavemen. In the developed world, we do have regular food available. We don't have to hunt for our food. We have fast, cheap, convenient choices everywhere in high quantities. And in fact, the most affordable and most convenient sources of the foods that we do have available to us are going to be sweets and fats. And those are the foods that your body prefers for energy production. And it prefers these foods because any extra calories it doesn't need for the energy now can easily be stored as fat for later. And you can get all that food without a great deal of physical exertion. So then your body says, all the better. You're one smart caveman. Now keep eating. The problem is that while some of us are eating like cavemen, most of us are not forced to go without food. We don't work like cavemen. We simply eat too much and sit too often. And what does that do? The fat starts to build up, right? So why are so many people struggling with their weight? Okay, my window keeps ending up in the weirdest places. I'm gonna move this off screen because it's driving me crazy. Okay. Now I think the answer is kind of obvious, really. For emphasis, here are some of the reasons. Eating more calories than necessary to sustain healthy life function, lack of physical ability to burn the free and stored energy, too much stress, we all getting that, right? Not enough rest, and that would be actual sleep, not lounging, but actual sleep, getting our sleep. Toxic stressors that promote fat storage, and then starving ourselves, processed foods, too much sugar, too much dairy. I mean, I can go on and on and on, right? But really all this boils down to lifestyle choices. So here's a little pyramid that's kind of exclusive to what we're discussing here. This is doTERRA's wellness lifestyle pyramid, and it promotes the antithesis of these contributing factors. So good health and a healthy body mass begin really with eating food in the right quantity and of the right quality. Some exercising, managing our stress, and getting appropriate rest, mostly sleep, actual sleep. And then, of course, reducing our toxic load. And we talk a lot about toxic load. That's all the toxins in your environment. It may be your air, the products you use, the products you have around you, and of course, the foods that we eat with toxins in them. So this depicts the fundamentals of a healthy lifestyle. Each section is a building block for the next, with eating right being the foundation. So the idea is that, if we support our body thoroughly on those bottom levels, then we will not need as much help on the top level. So the commitment to a healthy diet, exercise, stress management, reducing toxic load, if that becomes a part of your everyday lifestyle, that gives us our solid foundation of true wellness. If we focus as much attention as we can on the bottom level of the pyramid, lifestyle, we're bound to see great outcomes. And this is something that is totally within our control. So, at this point you might be, excited, afraid, frustrated, because we've all been through that, right? So I'm here for you. I'm here to help you kind of muddle through everything and figure out what to do. And we're going to go into some procedures we have to do this. Okay. So we want to make the right choices. So in the next few posts, I'm really going to share a handful of choices that will contribute 100% to your ability to lose weight, to keep it off, and most importantly, to thrive. So most of what we're going to see here is going to be obvious, right? But it's where we fall short. And so if you know what I'm going to share, then this is just another reminder, that accountability, we're always looking to accountability for our decisions, right? And being reminded of things sometimes help us to get started again. So if you've done this in the past and you've done it a different way, then let's try a way that we know has been definitely more functional for most people, works really well. And if they use this method, they are more likely to get excellent long-term results, which is what we're looking for. So making the right choices really starts with just listening and then putting that into action. Okay. So here we go. Now, after I introduce the stuff you already know, then I'll share a product line from doTERRA that will be absolutely transformational in your weight loss goals. So, should you eat less? Okay, so this is always the question, right? And this is a really kind of a long description, but let's go through it in detail. But it's very, very important. Now, starving yourself will never lead to what you want. It's not going to lead to the outcome you desire. First of all, obviously it's not sustainable. So we don't want to constantly starve ourselves. I mean, how many of you guys have been on a weight loss plan that made it so that for several hours each day, you felt like you were hungry and you would eat just about anything? Because I think we've all been there. So we don't want to do that. Instead, what we want to do is opt for the right food choices and the fat choices, because the food has fat. That's fine. That's not bad. But we do want to do better food choices that will make our new lifestyle enjoyable. So we all know the word calorie. We've all heard it, right? And you have to figure out what is a calorie. So a calorie is really a measurement of the energy units of a dietary nutrient, like the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And there are several ways that these calories can be stored as fat in our bodies. And your body's preferred sources of calories for energy production are going to be your carbohydrates and fats. And carbohydrates and fats can be quickly metabolized during digestion. They can be used as an immediate source of fuel for cellular activity. So when we're looking for energy, right? Carbohydrates are converted to glucose or blood sugar, and then they provide a burst of energy after eating. Now, carbohydrates can also be stored as glycogen in the liver and muscles and are also used in energy production. And the excess calories from carbohydrates that are not used up as glucose or stored as glycogen are then stored as fat. And the dietary fat is also a really great, it's a really preferred source of your readily available energy in your body. But just like with the unused carbohydrates, unused dietary fats are also stored in fat cells for later use. So we're gonna figure out how to use them, right? When glucose and glycogen and fats are not available for energy production, then the proteins can also be converted to glucose, but proteins are primarily used really as your building material for cell and tissue growth and repair. So your body has a limited capacity to utilize protein, and excess protein is also converted to fat. So your body's very proficient at storing the unused calories you eat as fat. So our bodies are really good at giving us fat. Yay, right? Calories consumed, calories burned equals calories stored as fat. So you have calories consumed, you take away those calories that you burn, and the rest will be stored as fat. So what the solution would be, of course, is going to be we want to get less calories so that we have less stored as fat, or burn them all off. So there's different ways you can lose weight because of that, right? So we can eat less, or really just eat the right foods, because you can still eat and eat the right foods and still burn off more fat or store less fat. Exercising more, we know that this is how we burn the fat that we have, or burn the products that are going to turn into fat, which is even easier. And that will get you your lean body mass. Now, of the two factors, really, eating less is the fastest way to slow down the storage of calories as fat. And exercising will burn that free and stored calories, and boost the metabolism by building lean muscle mass. So that's another thing you have to remember. Exercise does, when you build that lean muscle mass, that actually helps you to lose weight. So it's kind of like a snowball effect. So when you first start to lose weight, it's very hard at first, and you might see, you're looking on the scale, and you might see small fluctuations, and you get frustrated and you think it's not working. But once you start building that muscle mass, and it takes a while to build muscle mass, but once you start building it, then that will help your body to burn more calories. So then you get more of a snowball effect. And, you know, in this day and age, our schedules just don't always allow for the exercise time that's really necessary to balance the excess calories we consume. So eating less is just not sustainable, right? I mean, who here wants to eat a lot less food for the rest of their life? Maybe not. Eating less is really hard. You know, food is, it's physically, it's emotionally pleasurable. I mean, how many of you guys like to eat? I love to eat. I love food, and certain foods I love more than others, but eating has always been a really nice thing to do. We do it socially with our friends. We eat when we're hungry. We crave things. Some foods make us feel good. I know that, you know, sometimes if I've been depressed, I'll eat certain foods because it makes me feel better. So we do eat for many, many reasons. When we're hungry, so actual hunger rather than the emotional satisfaction, but when we're actually hungry, our bodies are sending these signals through various physiological pathways to let us know it's time to eat, right? And when we respond by eating, then those other signals are going to reward us for doing the eating, right? So it rewards us for responding to the body's desire to eat. And so these signals are influenced over time really by how much we eat, what we eat, why we eat. And then the combination of these really powerful signals to eat, that's what makes up what we call our appetite, right? When we reduce the amount of calories our bodies are used to getting when we diet, our appetites are heightened and we experience physical and emotional discomfort, right? So dieting, not terribly fun. I don't think anybody likes to do it. You know, we don't do it for fun, right? And these discomforts, they're real. And it requires a lot of self-control to not respond to our body, you know, saying, oh, more food, more food. And when the appetites become really too strong, we often will give in. And when we give in, a lot of times we'll eat a lot of high calorie foods to make our bodies happy. And then it gets that readily available source of energy. Now, also one of the things our bodies do is our bodies will panic and store more calories as fat in case we decide to starve ourselves again in the future. We have to be very careful with that because it can cause, you know, problems that don't rebalance for a very, very long time. So starving yourself, probably not a great idea. Your permanent healthy weight loss is most likely going to result from a gradual decrease in the calories we're consuming and increasing the amount of calories we burn through our regular, you know, physical activity we do, right? So managing the emotional and physical discomforts of that reduced calorie diet will also improve our chances of success. So I like to think of it this way. And one of the things that I did, it's not even just about eating right. And this is something outside of Cinduit that I want to share with you. And I think of it as, I think of my dad, who he grew up in a time when we were taught you finish everything on your plate. And my dad is like the epitome of that. He absolutely has to finish what is on his plate. And unfortunately, that's led to a lot of weight gain. I have a dog. I have 3 dogs, but one of my dogs doesn't seem to be able to stop. If he starts a bowl of dog food, he's going to finish that bowl of dog food. Whereas my other dogs will go in there and take a few bites, walk away, and come back later. They'll graze because they always have food available. So their bodies have learned that there's always food available. My newer dog has not learned that yet. His body hasn't figured out that there's always food available. And because of that, I've had to be careful, because if I put too much food in the bowl, he just can't stop. So I've started putting smaller amounts in the bowl, and that way when he goes by, I've noticed he doesn't finish it anymore. He'll just take a few bites and he'll walk away and come back later. So, you know, dogs don't have the same kinds of keys that we have, you know, triggers in the body quite like we do. And because they don't have to take a conscious amount of saying, hey, I'm getting fat, or, you know, they don't care, right? But I think that by doing this, it's helping him to lose weight. And so it's really that grazing mentality. His body has decided, oh, there's always going to be food available, so I don't have to pig out every time I see food. So we want to eat right. That's one of the things. And that doesn't mean, just so you understand, it does not mean you can't have a piece of cake, guys. Do not ever cut off something completely that you enjoy. That is not going to be sustainable. Because can you imagine if you said to yourself, you know what, I really want to lose weight, so I am never for the rest of my life going to have a piece of cake. And that, for most people, that's not going to be very sustainable, because, and it's not even, you know, emotionally, it's not sustainable. We're going to want to indulge once in a while, but be careful about overindulging. You can indulge a little bit, that's fine. So I want to make sure, you know, this is, again, stuff you know, and I want to make sure it's reinforced, because it's really critical that if you want to lose weight naturally and you want to keep it off for good, then you want to do some of the following things. You want to eat organic as much as possible, because the organic produce will have less pesticides and chemicals and all the things that are widely used in conventional agriculture. Organic food is usually fresher because it doesn't contain the preservatives that make it last longer, and that will help not to clog up your system. Those are going to be easier for your body to absorb and use and not convert to fat. Try to use some good fats. So incorporate things like olive oil, fish, avocados, olives, coconuts, nuts, seeds, that kind of stuff into your diet. And then drinking water. So there's a lot of different opinions, of course, on how much water we should be drinking every day. A lot of you have heard the kind of the rule of thumb we've all heard is 8-ounce glasses, 8-ounce glasses. That's like a half a gallon a day, the 8x8 rule. It's easy to remember. Remember, if you're smaller than average, you may need less than that. And if you're larger than average, you might need more than that. But drinking water, and I keep water available all the time. I have my water readily available because I will forget to drink water, and I will go an entire day without drinking water and just not remember. And I'm sure a lot of you probably the same thing. If it's not accessible, I won't remember. And it's not until sometime when I get really, really thirsty and realize I haven't drank water, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I am so thirsty because I haven't drank my water. Another trick that I have, because I'm a big time sugar addict, like I love sweets and I love sugar. I figured out if I put 1 drop of cinnamon in this bottle, and this is a 20-ounce bottle, guys. If I put 1 drop of the cinnamon bark oil that doTERRA has in it, I actually crave a lot less sweets. And that's because the cinnamon oil makes my water taste sweet. And it seems to, I don't know what that is. It's some kind of craving I have for sweets. And that works really, really well for me. And it's 1 drop. It's not a really strong flavor or anything. It's just that subtle sweet flavor that seems to really help. So you also, grazing, like I was saying with my dog, grazing seems to be a better way to go. When people brought this up in the past, and I know you've seen other diets. You've seen the keto diet, the paleo diet, the blah, blah, blah diet, right? Whatever. But your body needs a good balance. So you want to have these different things. And even, if you're vegetarian or vegan, you're still looking for these things. You still need your healthy fats. And you can get them as a vegetarian or vegan as well. You just have to find them from different sources. Like a lot of the things I mentioned, those were not meats. These were ways to get the food that you need and the healthy fats without meat. And you can get proteins without meat. So you have lots of options. Eating like 6 mini meals a day, so you're never really hungry, but you're never really full either. So it's those extremes that make it hard. Like you probably experience the same thing. If I get really, really hungry, I crave sweets, I crave donuts, I crave cake, I crave bread, which we know are not our best choices. And when I'm really, really hungry, the last thing I want to stick in my stomach is fruits or vegetables. I just do not crave those when I get really, really hungry. So you have to catch it before then. You have to eat regularly and snack with fruits and vegetables in between what we call our meals, but make them a little bit smaller meals, because that's going to make a really big difference. You want to have a lot of lean proteins, but pack your plate with those fruits and vegetables. And really, no one has ever gained weight from consuming too much broccoli and spinach. It is a really hard thing to do if you're really sticking to a lot of the fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables. So, we know a lot of this is obvious, right? And you have to ask yourself the question, how many of those healthy habits are you really following each and every day? And that's where doTERRA comes in. So let's talk a little bit about what doTERRA can do to help you in this goal. So why doTERRA? So before I dig into like the Slim and Sassy product line for doTERRA, I really want to answer a question that I get asked a lot, which is, why doTERRA? Okay, the answer is simple. Not all oils are created equally. Now, one of the reasons I chose doTERRA is because, they have the co-impact sourcing. doTERRA sources its oils from all over the world, so each oil is derived from its indigenous environment. And when they are grown and harvested in the proper altitude, the climate, the seasons, the soil, you end up with a really far superior product. And that's really where doTERRA's commitment to purity has begun. The second reason is that the oils are certified pure therapeutic grade. You've probably seen that label on a lot of products, CPTG. And that's really important because every oil has 0 fillers, 0 synthetics, no dyes, no pesticides, no contaminants of any kind. They're really just pure, unadulterated oils. Oils have no calories either because it is a pure natural chemical that that every oil is made of, and it's a bunch of different chemicals. So these are your natural chemicals. Every single oil I have will have a multitude of natural chemicals in it, and these chemicals tell your body to do different things. So it sends signals throughout our body through all those natural neurotransmitters and chemicals in our body, right? Now, doTERRA has created the CPTG standard, as a promise of that purity, and that each and every batch is third-party tested, so you can be confident in their purity, their potency, and that's what we're looking for, right? We want pure, potent products because we're trying to solve some problems. So let's talk a little bit about the Slim and Sassy. So here comes Slim and Sassy to save the day. And I think a lot of you guys that are here today, especially I know some of you guys on my team, we've used Slim and Sassy products, and we've used them very successfully. We feel that they are a very big help to our weight loss goals and our weight management goals, right? So we have the Slim and Sassy Metabolic Blend, and that is a blend of essential oils. It's got grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon essential oils. And that helps your body to adjust to that reduced calorie intake when you're dieting. So again, you're not going to skip meals. Do not skip meals. You're going to simply reduce the amount you eat at each meal. And it's hard sometimes because when you start eating, I mean, we're a lot like my dog, same thing. I mean, you start something and if it's on your plate and it's really accessible, it's hard to stop. I mean, how many of you guys can eat a half a cake and just leave half a cake sitting on the plate by itself? That's a really tough thing to do, right? So we want to adjust that caloric intake. And the studies have shown that both the aromatic and internal benefits of using those oils that are in Slim and Sassy to manage that appetite and calm your stomach and gastrointestinal distress that's often associated with dieting. And even just smelling grapefruit oil can help calm your appetite. And that may seem weird to some people who don't understand essential oils or don't understand doTERRA, but if you have a powerful essential oil, it's a smell, right? And the smells come in through your olfactory system, but we have other olfactory receptors in our body. So smell can affect a lot of other things within the human body. And so grapefruit oil has been one of those. It really calms your appetite. And I personally have used this myself more recently, and I just trying to lose like 5 pounds, and I lost 4 pounds the first week. And I don't think I changed anything, but it was smelling that grapefruit oil, and it really kind of calmed my appetite. And so I may have decreased the amount that I ate at each meal, and then I was doing more of the grazing type of thing, and that has worked really well for me. But smelling grapefruit oil really does, it makes it so I'm not hungry. And I have to really be careful, because if I am diffusing grapefruit a lot, which I do tend to do while I'm trying to lose this last few pounds here, but if I'm smelling this a lot, I have to make sure that I do eat, because I actually have forgotten to eat my snacks in between. And then you get to the point where you haven't eaten in 8 hours, and then you're really hungry, and then I make really bad choices. So even just smelling it, great. Ginger and peppermint oils also help calm the stomach and really support the gastrointestinal comfort and function. And then lemon oil, which is also in there, has been demonstrated to elevate the mood, which is clinically associated with successful weight loss efforts. And to slow down and stop the storage of excess calories as fat in our bodies, we need to decrease our caloric intake and increase our physical activity. So the Slim and Sassy metabolic blend of oils is really an excellent physical and emotional support to your health efforts to reduce those excess calories converting to fat by basically eating less, helping you manage the discomforts of appetite when you're eating less, right? You can add it to your glass or stainless steel bottle. Again, that's something that you can put in here. I actually don't use that product anymore. I did when I was losing more weight. But you can put several drops in here. People use different amounts. When I first started with Slim and Sassy, back when I used it, I did the recommended, I think it was 3 drops in 8 ounces. It was way too strong for me, guys. So I started with 1 drop and worked my way up to 3 drops because I had to get used to that oil. It's a very strong oil. And so you do want to use it in glass or stainless steel, ideally, to sip on throughout the day. Or you can add some of that to your trim shake or even your tea, and you can do it like 5 times a day. So if you're really trying to actively lose weight, you can take up to 25 drops of Slim and Sassy daily. And to maintain a healthy weight, 10 to 15 drops daily is really all that is needed. So maintaining, obviously, you get to use less than when you're trying to actively lose weight. A lot of people report that using that oil before mealtime helps control appetite and keeps them from overeating. And that's a whole different thing, that overeating. Now, overeating, there's 2 reasons we overeat. One is the food's really good. I'm sorry, the food that is out there, it's really tasty. And it's designed that way. I mean, people look for these blends of foods that they know human beings love. Our taste buds are very powerful and we enjoy our food. So a lot of times we will overeat. We also, a lot of us have this mental thing that if it's on our plate, we should finish it. Get over it, guys. Do not finish what's on your plate. You have to learn. It's hard. I mean, I consciously tell myself constantly, no, it's okay to leave it. It's okay that I'm throwing food away. We don't like to be wasteful, but it is better to throw away that food than to force it into your body when you're trying to lose weight, because you're just hurting yourself by forcing yourself to finish that food. Don't be afraid to leave a bite or 2 bites or 3 bites. It's okay if it goes in the garbage can, because honestly, you're going to save more money if you're eating a little bit less, because overall, as your appetite decreases, as you lose weight, then you're eating a lot less than before because your body doesn't need as many calories to sustain itself. And so you're going to save money on the other end. So don't be afraid to throw away that food. And that's going to take conscious effort. I'm telling you, it is not easy. It is actually extremely hard. I was surprised how hard it was. And I think it's just my dad over the years saying, oh, Jenny, finish. It's on your plate. Finish it. And, you know, sometimes we don't choose what's on our plate, right? Other people maybe prepare it for us, or we might be at an event or something like that. Or we buy a sandwich. That's a hard one, right? You're eating a sandwich and how easy is it to finish that sandwich? Well, don't do it. You know, take some of that sandwich and be willing to throw it away, because that will be better for your weight loss goals in the long run. And it is a really hard thing to overcome, because even now I'll be like, oh, it's just 1 bite, you know, big deal. But 1 bite every time you eat, that adds up, guys. So don't be afraid to say, you know what? Yes, there's only 1 bite left here. I give it to my dogs, or I'll throw it out in the yard. Some animal will eat it, or I'll throw it away, because I don't need that bite. That bite is just going to make me gain weight. So I'm not doing it. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other products they have to help us lose weight. They do have the Trim Shake. I personally don't use this product because I really cannot stand the taste of stevia. So it has stevia in it. If you don't like stevia, you're not going to like this product. So look for something else. But and it is a very strong stevia taste, I think. But a lot of people like it, and a lot of people, stevia is fine for them. So like
Can I say something? Jenny?
absolutely, Bonnie.
I would like to say that I am not necessarily a rah-rah fan of Trim Shake either, but I have somebody, one of my clients loves the Trim Shake. She has taken the Trim Shake base and used it as a meal replacement by adding fresh fruit to it. She's made homemade ice cream by using the Trim Shake base and freezing it, and then using an immersion blender with it and blending it up once it's frozen it. So while it's not my favorite thing, having it prepared by my teammate the way she did it made all the difference.
And that's a great idea, Bonnie. That is a great idea. You know, just figuring out what you could use it with. I mean, for me, I can't have any stevia. I don't know what it is. I think I might just switch to it. But you can.
And the doTERRA site has got like a plethora of recipes for the Trim Shake. And Heather McCravey is the one I'm talking about. And she has tried a good portion of them, and they're really good.
Oh, she shares with you? That's nice.
Oh yeah, no, like I went to a class and she brought me some, and you know, so we did a class and we tried a couple of different things. It was really good.
Yeah, and it does come in these different flavors, which is nice. But yeah, adding things to it, and I think adding fruit to it, that's a great idea, Bonnie. And some of those things, you know, because if you don't like it, you may use it, you know, at the beginning of your weight loss journey, but it's not sustainable. You have to like what you're doing, because anything, as we talk about different things in weight loss, if it's not sustainable, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to do it for the rest of your life, right? So don't get yourself into that. Figure out what you do like it with. Most people do like the Trim Shake, especially if they use it different ways, like you were saying. You'll mix it with different things, because you can use it with all kinds of different things. And most people, like I said, most people don't have a problem with stevia. That's just a me thing. So I think most people will like it. The chocolate one, definitely better for me. I can't taste the stevia as much in that one. So I do like the chocolate shake. And if you like chocolate flavor, you may love the chocolate shake the way it is. But with the regular, obviously the vanilla shake, you're going to have a lot more options as far as, like Bonnie was saying, all that blending with some fruits or whatever, right? So lots of different things. Hey, if you drink, go ahead and put a little rum in it, right? Can't hurt. So you have a lot of options to get this shake as a meal replacement Again, don't overdo it. Don't add a bunch of really high calorie ingredients to it. Just keep everything very minimal so that you don't end up adding a lot of extra calories, because then that hasn't become a really good meal replacement. But you don't have to use a shake by itself. So thank you, Bonnie, for that. That really helps. Now this is, if you use it by itself and you're not mixing it with anything else, some people like it because it's only 70 calories a serving. So again, I've had people that said they use this, 4 times a day for 4 meals. That does not make sense. 70 calories 4 times a day is not enough food, guys. Don't do it, okay? Nobody should be losing weight that fast. That is not sustainable. It's not healthy. You need to have your regular foods in between. This is simply, ideally, really meant to replace one of your meals during the day. And if you add something to it, then of course you can use it more often because you're adding things to it that also have calories. But by itself, it's really meant to replace one of your meals during the day. And you can blend it with, anything that you want to blend it with. You can blend it with your different kinds of milks that we have out there. We can blend it with water, although that would taste really weird, I think. Like Bonnie was saying, tons of recipes on doTERRA for how to use that trim shake so that you can use that as a meal replacement without adding a whole bunch of extra calories. The other thing that's really great is that it includes that patented weight loss ingredient, Trim. And again, when we're talking doTERRA, we're talking natural. None of these are synthetic. These are natural things that they have come up with, different blends. And research has shown that this ingredient, the Trim, helps manage cortisol. And that's a stress hormone that stores fat in our abdomens, hips, and thighs. So when you wonder, sometimes about, why is our society getting so overweight? Why do we have such a trouble with it? And you got to remember, it's weird. It's like we live in this very stressful age. We invented all these wonderful things to make life easy. We got dishwashers, and we have, lights. We don't have to light fires and put on a bunch of candles anymore. We have indoor plumbing, and we have all these wonderful things, and yet we're more stressed than ever. So we are producing a lot of extra cortisol that our body doesn't need, and it causes all kinds of problems, and it does cause weight gain, especially where we don't want it, right? The Trim Shake also contains solathin, and that's a special protein that extract from natural food sources that really supports that increased feeling of satiety, which is, the feeling of being full. And each shake, again, it's 70 calories with 8 grams of protein. It helps maintain that steady blood sugar, and it's a really good source of fiber for people who are trying to lose weight or trying to maintain an ideal weight. It helps with it helps control the stress-induced eating and sweet cravings, and also helps alleviate fatigue that, a lot of times we feel a lot of fatigue when we're dieting and then trying to exercise and things like that. So they have chocolate, they have vanilla. Do they still have orange? Do you know, Bonnie, is the orange cream still available?
I don't know that it is, but if you add the wild orange oil to the vanilla,
that's true.
You can make the dreamsicle flavor.
Right. That's a good idea. And then, of course, there's a vegan option. So if you're a vegan, we have a V-Shake as well. And that is, again, it's a vegan-friendly, delicious shake mix that will give you those essential nutrients. It's only 74 calories per serving. And it, again, can be used in place of, I'll show you what it looks like, in place of a meal during the day for weight loss. It also includes the weight loss ingredient, Trim, which helps manage the cortisol level again. And it also includes the solathin, which is that protein from natural food sources to increase feelings of fullness. And again, you can blend that with water, rice, soy, almond milk, whatever. Remember, when you blend it with something, you're adding more calories to it. So depending what you blend it with will determine how many calories it is overall. So be careful about blending it with really fatty things. I mean, it'd be nice if you could blend it with ice cream. I know it's still 70 calories, but probably not, guys. Don't try it. That's not going to work. Okay. Then we have, now this one, I love metabolic gum. And I don't know about you guys, if anybody else is using it, but I find that this is super helpful for not only cleaning my teeth, which I've noticed it actually helps get the black off my teeth throughout the day, which I really like. But it also helps with our weight loss goals. It tends to make me not as hungry. And so I do love it. And I only chew it for people who aren't gum chewers. You get most of the benefits out of it in the first 10 minutes that you chew it. I tend to chew it for maybe a half an hour and then I spit it out because I don't want to chew gum all day. I'm not a big gum chewer. You can chew it longer if you want to. Just, most of the flavor, most of the benefits of it are coming out in that first half hour. So this has a Slim and Sassy metabolic oil blend in it, which manages your cravings throughout the day and supports that healthy metabolism. There's 1 drop of Slim and Sassy essential oil in each piece of that gum. That gum is also sugar-free. It's a really great way for you to get more of that, wonderful essential oil blend into your daily routine. It contains the grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, cinnamon, and ginger. And, when you take it internally with your, healthy eating, your exercise plan, that's really going to help you reach those goals. So I chew 1 piece, you can chew 1 piece throughout the day. Obviously, for most people, it's going to, after a while, the flavor really goes away after quite some time. So I think just using 1 piece mid-morning is when I usually do it, so that I won't overeat at lunch. And then I use it in the afternoon, so I won't overeat at dinner. And then sometimes I'll use another piece in the evening. I am by nature kind of an evening, nighttime snacker. I do crave food after dinner, and I'm trying not to do that. So I find that just chewing the gum keeps me from craving food and still has something, going in my mouth that's kind of tastes sweet to me. That helps a lot. So another product that doTERRA has that is right?
Before you go off the gum, I will tell you that I'm not a gum chewer either. However, if you're trying to quit smoking, instead of doing a nicotine gum, if you're doing a nicotine patch, you can chew the Slim and Sassy gum with a nicotine patch. Then your mouth is still getting that oral fixation that smokers have, and it's helping you lose weight rather than, because a lot of smokers say that they gain weight after, after they try to put the cigarettes down.
That's a really great idea, Bonnie. Yeah, that's a really great way to do it. I like it because that makes sense. That completely makes sense. And nicotine gum, if you've ever read about it, it's not the best thing in the world for your body, for your mouth specifically. So this definitely a much better choice. And like I said, it seems some of these oils are also really good at breaking down bacteria in your mouth, like the cinnamon oil. And so it helps clean your mouth, which really is great, because obviously you brush your teeth in the morning, you brush your teeth at night, but we don't brush our teeth after breakfast, generally between breakfast and lunch. Again, between lunch and dinner, we don't brush our teeth, and maybe not even right after dinner. A lot of us wait till we're getting ready to go to bed. So using the gum will help also in your dental care, because you're chewing that gum in those in-between times of cleaning your teeth and killing the bacteria in your mouth. So lots of benefits from that. You can also do, like we did in the old days, we all did this when we were kids. We chew a piece of gum and then we set it aside, put it on the side of the plate or whatever while we eat, and then chew the same gum after we eat. So if you're one of those people that can still do that, you can always do that and make 1 piece of gum last all day long. It's just that most of the benefits really are happening with the, in the first 30 minutes that you're chewing that gum. So keep that in mind. Another part of the weight loss kind of program is our Terrazyme. So we take this 1 pill with every meal, and it helps to maximize that nutrient absorption. And that's what's essential. That nutrient absorption is what we're looking for, because we can take a ton of nutrients, guys. But if we're not absorbing them, then it's not doing anything for our body. And we see it all the time. A lot of vitamins and things out there are not absorbed well by the human body. So we want to absorb the nutrients that we're consuming, whether we're taking food or vitamins or whatever, we need to absorb those. So Terrazyme contains a blend of whole food enzymes that are really depleted a lot of times once your food has been cooked or if it's been processed. So what enzymes do is they break down the proteins, the fats, the carbs, sugars, fiber, and stuff that we eat. And when they break them down, your body's really able to digest the food much better, to absorb it and then eliminate it. That's what we're trying to do, right? And 75% of our enzymes should come from the food we eat, but our food really only has about 20%, so 1/5 of the enzymes that were contained in our food in the 1950s. So that's a lot. I mean, we're talking about over the last 60, 70 years, our food has lost so much of its quality, and the enzymes that we need in the food are disappearing. So outside of cooking, enzyme depletion can be caused by changing in farming methods, freezing foods, mass production, producing foods out of season, pasteurization, of course, gets rid of enzymes, and that's why a lot of people have dairy problems. So as a result, those enzymes that really should be naturally occurring, they're not there to break down the food that we're eating. And so we end up with a lot of digestive issues. I mean, I wish I could go back to the day where we had raw milk that came from the cow, because those enzymes and everything to help you digest that milk is there. And we know milk is really hard on our bodies. So if the digestive enzymes were there with the milk when we drank it, that would be great. Same with our cheeses and other things that we consume. If those enzymes still existed in that product, we'd be doing a lot better. And unfortunately, a lot of times they really aren't. And so we may not have any of those enzymes at all. We have some other things to help support. And you know, again, when you're doing weight loss, you have lots of choices to make about what you want to use. If you want to really go full force, whole hog into it, you want to get these products and you just want to do it, it may save you a lot of money and a lot of time, a lot of aggravation over doing some other programs. So you want to do, if you're going to do something, do it all the way is kind of what I'm saying, I guess. You know, get the things that you need, try it. You'll know if this works. You'll know within a month because you'll be trying it. If you're doing everything that you should be doing, you should see some significant weight loss in the first month if you're doing everything that we're recommending here. And if you're not, then call me. Let me know what's going on, and I'm here to help you. That's the whole idea, right? And we're here to help each other. Everybody here, some of these girls are on my team, they're willing to help you. We're helping each other to be successful in all of our health goals. So the PB and GX assist. Now, having a healthy digestive system really affects all facets of the body. And so when our digestive system is not in proper health, then we get this really big negative effect in all of the other functions of the body. So that combination of the really powerful essential oils and the caprylic acid helps cleanse the digestive system. And this helps all the other functions of the body perform at their maximum potential. So GX Assist can be like the first step in the essential oil digestive maintenance program. So if you're looking for a natural way to cleanse, GX Assist is a blend of the CPTG essential oils and the caprylic acid that supports that healthy digestive system. Then after overindulgence, take GX Assist to give your digestive tract a break. So overindulgence, we know what this looks like. It kind of looks like Thanksgiving, right? We eat and oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And then we sit around griping about how our stomach feels. So take that GX Assist and give your digestive tract a break after you do overindulge, because we all do it. Nobody's perfect, and it's okay to overindulge once in a while, right? But we need to then do the things to help rebalance our bodies after we do that, right? Then we have the PB Assist, and that's our probiotic defense formula. Taking 2 pills a day will help support a healthy digestive system, and it does promote a really good positive balance and proliferation of the beneficial bacteria that we do need in our gut. So the way these are usually taken, these are not done all the time, every single day for the rest of your life. GX Assist is generally done short term. A lot of people will do it for like 10 days, and then they will take 3 weeks off and then take it for 10 more days. PB Assist, a lot of people will take week on, week off to rebuild the healthy bacteria in your body, because your body, if you're eating well and you're doing all the right things or most of the right things, your body is going to be in balance most of the time. It's when things start to get off balance because you haven't replenished it in a long time, or you're eating some bad foods for a little while. That's when things kind of go wonky and you have to bring these things back, right? So these are not things you need every day, but you are going to need them fairly often. So keep them around and use them as needed. Now, one of the things that I think everybody who's used it knows that you do need this every day. So, and I'm going to explain a couple of reasons why. This is the Lifelong Vitality Pack that doTERRA has. They have very extensively researched exactly what is missing in the North American diet. So this is going to be, it's primarily designed for United States and Canada. A little bit Mexico's diet is very similar to ours. It is not designed for like a true Asian diet. That would be a different Lifelong Vitality Pack that they've designed for that specific diet. But here in North America, we do struggle with getting the nutrients that we need. Now, one of the things I've researched separately, again, this is not from Cinduit, but this is something separately I've researched, is that your body needs its vitamins, and it needs it more than it needs anything else. So if you are not getting the nutrients that you need from your diet, you're going to still be hungry because your body is craving something. It needs something. And we've all done this. Let's go stand in front of the refrigerator door and we're looking inside and we're going, I know I already ate, but my body is craving something. And so we stand in front of the fridge and we hope that somehow we're going to figure out what that is. And then we start grabbing some foods, just hoping to find that vitamin nutrient that our body is craving. And that's when you get those cravings. It's because your body needs that. And your body knows what it needs. It needs these nutrients, and it's going to crave it, above and beyond the foods that we should normally be eating. So we can overeat because we're still trying to get those nutrients. So if we supplement that, and that's why they're supplements, right? These are not, you're not supposed to live on these. These are supplements. They are supposed to supplement a normal, relatively healthy diet. If you have an unhealthy diet, you'll still supplement. It's not gonna be as good because you're having an unhealthy diet. But ideally, with a healthy diet and then the supplementation, you should be feeling really good. And I think a lot of us here have experienced it, and we know how good this is. And then I'm gonna have Bonnie tell you her story. So I want to talk a little bit about this. Vital, absolutely vital to losing weight, this lifelong vitality pack. So this was really your first step. If you can't do any of the other stuff, just do this first. Start with this, then add your Slim and Sassy oil. This can be your start, okay? Because this is what's going to help your body the most. Bonnie?
I would agree. I have to agree. Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
This is the first thing that I did, guys. I didn't use Slim and Sassy. I didn't exercise. Can y'all hear me, Jenny?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Bonnie, why don't you tell us your story now? This is probably a good point for you to give us your story.
Okay, so guys, I weighed over 527 pounds, and I probably weighed closer to 600. My doctor's doing the research back from the hospitalizations I had in 2015 to verify the highest weight they have on record. The highest weight that I have written down was 527 pounds. Now stop and think about that. That's a big girl, right? I've lost over 242 pounds. The first 100 pounds, only thing I did different was lifelong vitality pack. That is the only thing different I did. Now I say that, but this is what happens when you start taking the lifelong vitality pack. You start feeling better. It addresses about 75 to 80% of the problems that we had internally. Nutritionally, it addresses that immediately. The number one reason why we eat is because we don't have the right nutrition. Yes, we eat because of stress. Yes, we eat for, because it tastes good. Yes, we eat. But it's bottom line, when you're a snacker, if you're a snack eater or a stress eater, a lot of it comes from the fact that you don't have the right nutrition. And I didn't set out to say, oh, I'm going to radically change my diet. Guys, I weighed 527 pounds, okay? I ate a bowl of ice cream every night before I went to bed. And I'm not talking about that cute little one scoop that Jenny eats because God bless her, she needed to lose 5 pounds, right? Okay. How many of us could lose 50 pounds? Probably most of us. I'm going to be honest, I have another 100 pounds to lose. I'm not where I want to be. But I've come a really long way. That first 100 pounds, what happened was I was taking that lifelong vitality pack, and I looked up one day and I realized I had cut out that bowl of ice cream at night. And about a month later, I looked around and realized, hey, I'm not eating an entire family bag of chips anymore. I just kind of cut that out. Guys, when you weigh that much, you don't eat one cookie, right? Let's face it, you don't eat one Oreo, you eat 10, and you can nod your head and say, no, not me. Yeah, I know. If you are significantly overweight, you don't know that you can eat just one Oreo, because you can't. Now, I don't eat Oreos now, but that was, bowls of ice cream, 10 Oreos, I could polish off a bag of chips, I drank soda. That kind of stuff just kind of went away when I started Lifelong Vitality Pack. And it wasn't like I set out to stop that. I will say that my husband had made a concerted effort. My husband's 145 pounds, dripping wet. The man's a rock climber. He was athletic. And when I got sick and gained all the weight, I used to be a normal weight. He made a concerted effort and vocalized he was cutting out high fructose corn syrup. And after I'd been on Lifelong Vitality Pack for a while, I thought, I guess I could do that. And so I started drinking sweet tea. Okay? And I thought, if I'm going to give up my soda, I'm a Southern girl, I'm still going to drink my sweet tea. And, okay, this crazy oil lady told me I can put lemon oil in it and it's good for my kidneys, so maybe I'll do that. So then I got to where I was drinking water and liking it. I went from sweet tea to water. And I was drinking water with lemon and water with lemon sassy. This was after the first 100 pounds. But guys, you can cure so much of what, sure, cure is not a word. I didn't say that word. I didn't mean cure. You could support your weight loss naturally if you just give your body what it needs. And you're not getting that in the bowl of ice cream, in the bag of chips, in the 10 Oreos, in the Rocky Road, in the Snickers bars, in the Girl Scout cookies, in the band chocolate that you're buying to support the band. You know, so if you don't hear anything else Jenny says, I'm going to tell you this one thing radically changed my life. I am off 15 medications. I have lost 242 pounds, and I am still on my journey. I'm not a before and after picture. I'm a real person that has had real challenges. The year I met Jenny, I was in intensive care 5 times. I was in the hospital 48 days that year. If it were not for Jenny Edmonds and Cricket Owl, I would not be alive today. My family agrees with that statement. That's not some fantastic thing to wow anybody. It's just a fact. I would not be here. So this product right here is the first thing you do. This is what you do. I took this to my doctor in the ER, right? Because I had an emergency room visit. I took these to the doctor and I said, can I take these? And God put a filter on my ears. What he said and what I heard was 2 different things. He said, they won't hurt you. That's not what I heard. What I heard was, take those. They're going to help you. Honestly, that's what I heard. So I started taking them. And the next time the doctor saw me and I was considerably lighter, they were like, oh, what did you do? And I said, I took those vitamins you told me to take. They're like, no, wait. We didn't tell you to take any vitamins. And I said, yeah, you did. They said, no, we told you they wouldn't kill you. And I was like, well, what I heard was go ahead and take them because they would help me. So my doctor gradually took me off all of my meds. I did not just stop taking meds. Because that's the first question I get is, oh, so you just stopped taking these meds and you're anti, medical. No, I'm for appropriate medication. I don't have a thyroid. I take thyroid medicine every morning. I've got some issues that require me to take another pill at night before I go to bed. It's not a sleep pill. There's another pill that I take at night. Other than that, consistently on a daily basis, the only thing I take is supplements. So I'm off of 2 kinds of insulin, Levemir and Novolog. My A1C, even though I still have 100 pounds to lose, I am no longer type 2 diabetic. My A1C is 4.8. It's better than my doctor's. She told me that multiple times. So you can do this. You can start your journey from wherever you are. I started my journey from 527 pounds. So some of you might be heavier than that. I don't know. Some of you might be considerably lighter than that. I don't know. But I am telling you that I pretty much started at the extreme. And this is what I started with. And
So, hey, Bonnie, let me interrupt you. Let me ask you a question. So,
yes,
how much aerobic exercise are you doing each day?
well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be perfectly honest with y'all. I have lupus. I did no exercise the first 100 pounds. I couldn't. God, at 527 pounds, your exercise is walking to the damn bathroom. Okay? Your heart rate skyrockets when you get up and walk to the bathroom and back. Okay? And then, I mean, honestly, you know, I did no, I couldn't. Today, I don't do concerted exercise. I try to get a certain number of steps in every day. Every month, I up my step goal by 10%. I'm going to tell you, I have 100 pounds to lose. My steps are not 10,000 steps a day. They're not. I'm not there yet. I'm not. But when I started, my steps were 49. I was doing 49 steps a day, guys, at 527 pounds. I can now go shopping with my daughter and go through the Walmart and walk up and down the aisle and not suck wind like I'm going to die. I can walk from my house down to my barn and not die. That was my goal, not die. Okay? So this product helped me meet my goal, not die. That was the first goal. The second goal was let's lose some weight. And I didn't even I lost 25 pounds before I took my first before picture because I didn't think I could lose any weight. And guys, when you weigh 527 pounds, you can't buy a scale at home that you can step on and see your weight. You have to go to a doctor's office. And the doctor's office scale only goes to 550 pounds. Do you want to know that? Is that something you want to experience for yourself? Because I can tell you it is incredibly humiliating. You know what I did? I bought a scale, a highfalutin, talk to my phone, technological, track your weight loss, blah, blah, blah. And I got it before I could even, I knew I wasn't 14. The highest scale that you can buy right now will weigh somebody up to 440 pounds. And I got on that scale every day to see if it would not error out and if it would give me a weight. Every day. And you do not know the joy that I felt when I had a scale in my house that I could step on and it would give me a weight. So I am telling you that if you are on this call because you need hope, this is the product you start with. This is the product that's going to help you stop snacking. Okay? You start here. And you add Slim and Sassy. Then maybe you add the trim shake. Now maybe you don't weigh 527 pounds. Maybe you only got 50 pounds you want to lose. Then go all in. I mean, actually, I think you should go all in anyway. I mean, if I had it to do over, I would have started the Slim and Sassy sooner. I probably would have. I probably would have started the trim shake regular. I probably would have. But I don't chew gum because I was raised in the South, and my mother and my grandmother told me, ladies don't chew gum. Chewing is for cows. Okay? That's how I was raised. You don't chew gum, chewing is for cows. You want to look like a cow, you go out there and you chew a piece of gum. You want to freshen your breath? You can have half a piece of gum, you can chew it 5 chews, and then you spit it out. And you don't spit it out in front of anybody. You put it in a napkin and you throw it away, like a lady. And dear God, don't let anybody chew it that 5 times. So I know I'm not a gum chewer. Maybe some of you are. Maybe some of you are smokers and you need to stop smoking and lose weight. The gum would be a good way to do that. Wear a patch, wear a nicotine patch, and chew the Slim and Sassy gum instead of chewing the nicotine gum. I don't do that. But so that's my passionate plea for you to start somewhere. Wherever you are, start somewhere. And I'm going to tell you that Slim and Sassy oil, you can diffuse that and it will keep you from snacking. You can put it in your water, you can drink it, you can create, there's a ton of stuff you can do with Slim and Sassy that would totally blow your mind. And this is an intro class, so I'll be quiet. And if anybody wants to ask me questions, I'll be honest with you. I will answer your question. But I will also tell you that I have what they call comorbidity. I have lupus. I was overweight. I was diabetic. I had they didn't call it lymphedema. It was my skin wet, like fluid came out of my legs. From my knees to my ankles, I was so heavy. So I was pretty much worst case. I had a bleeding ulcer, and I bled to death in my own bathroom internally. And when you weigh that much, and 911 has to come get you, it is not easy. It took 6 firemen to get me out of my house. How embarrassing is that? It's reality. It's reality. That's what I went through. So when I say the Tara saved my life, yes, I am not where I want to be. If you were to look at me, you'd be go, well, you're a big girl. I'd be like, really? Let me show you a picture of a bigger girl. Because right now, I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm still losing weight. So, and my lupus is pretty much in check, and my diabetes is resolved. And I am off all lupus meds too. I'm off 15 different medications. I'm off of anxiety medication. Used to take a Klonopin for me to get out of the house.
Hey, thank you, Bonnie, for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. And if you want to hear more of Bonnie's story, did you ever post the video you did?
I did not post that video. Every Monday I have a weight loss support group that meets via Zoom. So we can support each other, talk about what's working for all of us. I will start that call with a mini version of, where I started, where I am now.
Can you post a link to that support group on the chat, please?
It's a Zoom link. Okay, yes, I can do that. Give me just a second.
Yeah, go ahead and post that to the chat.
While you are finishing up, bless you. Everybody heard you. While you finish up, Jenny, I will figure out how to get that into the chat for people.
That'd be great. Okay, so
or I tell you what, I'm actually on Facebook. If somebody wants to private message me, it's just my name. It is Bonnie, Bonnie, middle initial J, last name Lee, L-E-E, Bonnie J. Lee on Facebook, and I will be happy, or Jenny can forward my information to you also. But I'm gonna figure out, Jenny. I'm gonna work on this and try to post that link
there. That'll be helpful. And of course, you can reach out to me. I can send you over to Bonnie. So just so you know who Bonnie is to me, she is one of my members in doTERRA, one of my leaders. I met her first physically in person. The first time I actually saw her was almost 2 years ago at convention. And how much weight have you lost since convention, Bonnie?
Since convention, I have lost 79 pounds.
So what about between the first and second? Because I saw you for the first convention almost 2 years ago.
No, when you saw me at the first convention, I had lost 150 pounds.
Okay. And then you lost more before the convention.
Yeah. Somebody has just asked how to order products, Jenny.
Okay, we'll talk about that at the very end of this. So we're going to finish up. This is we're kind of wrapping things up, but I want to give you some more information about the last products and then how you can get these. And of course, if you want to learn more, you don't have to buy products. If you just want to learn more about Bonnie's weight loss journey, that's why I wanted to make sure that you had access to that group, because welcome to go to that. Bonnie will help you through that group as well, through her Facebook. So there are, lots of different things we can do. So yeah, Bonnie, get us that link. Okay, so to continue on with this lifelong vitality pack, so you can tell Bonnie is a big fan of it, as am I, and I use it for a totally different reason. I'm only a few pounds overweight, so weight loss has not been my issue, but I suffered from severe fibromyalgia. And again, these are things that a lot of times our bodies are just way out of balance. We're not getting the nutrition we need, and we can get better if we can get our bodies in balance. So nutrition is super important to our life. And unfortunately, our food just may not give it to us. And that's where we have different products to help us have better core health. Because remember, we talked earlier that pyramid, what do you need first? You need that good health. If you have good health, then everything else that we have to solve in our lives is going to be that much easier. So there are a lot of different things that you can do. And I've been eating organic food for 30 years. And yet it wasn't until I discovered this that my life really changed, and the fatigue and stuff went away. The body aches and things went away. And that it must have been a vitamin deficiency of some sort. I don't know how, because I exercise and I eat well and organic and everything. So there's something in here. So I'm going to discuss what is in this pack, because you're probably wondering, oh my gosh, what's in it? And why is it so much better than what's currently on the market? Now, one of the biggest problems we have is we can buy lots of supplements, right? How many of you guys see supplements all over Amazon? We've all seen it, right? There's supplements up the wazoo on Amazon. Trying to figure out which one to get is hard, because a lot of those supplements, because they're not well regulated, and the supplemental industry is not regulated, and because of that, a lot of these supplements do absolutely nothing. In fact, they did, what was it? The FDA, I think, reported that, at least in the United States, they reported that over 600 and something supplements were found just in the last year that weren't what they said they were. You know, that aren't actually, that they don't even have the things in it that we think they're supposed to have. I saw also another report on the Doctor's TV show where they went out and tested various supplements they got in different places, some stores, Walmart, GNC and things like that. They also reported that a lot of them didn't have what they said they had in it, including, natural things like St. John's wort. And the only thing they found that actually had what it said in it consistently across all the companies they tested was garlic. So garlic capsules, you can be pretty sure they're probably garlic capsules, probably because they're cheap, right? So these more expensive supplements, people are selling you a pipe dream, and they're not selling you what they should be selling you. So doTERRA wanted to have vitamin supplements, and especially what we're going to call this a multivitamin, not just a multivitamin, but your core, everything that you need for your core well-being. And they put it in a pack, and it is all from whole food sources. So it's not easy in that you don't get to take one little tiny pill, because you guys, if you're taking one little pill and it has everything in it, those are synthetic versions of things, because you can't get whole food vitamins into a tiny little pill. So doTERRA's pack actually has 3 products in it. It has the XE Omega, and that is your omega-3s. It's got vitamin D in it, and that is very important because we don't get enough omega-3s in our diet generally. Omega-3s are found in such things like seafood, flax seeds, a few other little sources that these aren't things we eat a lot of, right? Or certainly not every day. And so we find that we are low in omega-3s, but we usually have plenty of omega-6s. We all get plenty of omega-6s. And omega-3s, you're supposed to have, I think it's 6-to-1 is the ratio. You're supposed to have more omega-3s than omega-6s, which we're not getting. And so that's where that is one of the supplements. The other one that comes in that same pack is called Microplex VMZ. That is going to be vitamins that are necessary and are generally missing in the North American diet. Because quite honestly, if you are living virtually and eating most of your foods at McDonald's and Tim Hortons, if you're in Canada or whatever, you're getting certain nutrients because they're in a lot of foods, and you're going to get them. So doTERRA didn't put them in there because we're all getting those. And they didn't overdo the things that they did put in there, because honestly, you don't need 500% of anything. If the recommended daily allowance is a certain amount, if it's 5 micrograms, you don't want to be sticking 20 micrograms in a pill. That's crazy. We don't want to imbalance our bodies, right? We want just what we need. Ideally, in a perfect world, we would all have this test that we could have done on us that would say, okay, your body needs exactly this much of this, this much of this, this much of this each day, because this is what you consistently are missing. Of course, we can't do that. That would be fine tuning it to a very high level. That'd be awesome if we could do that, right? And maybe someday in the future we can. But right now, we know what the general diet looks like, and we know what vitamins and nutrients we need to fill in those holes, let's say, right? The other package that comes in there is the Alpha CRS. Now, Alpha CRS is a little bit different because Alpha CRS is a cellular blend, because everything works at a cellular level. So we want to keep our cells in order, and that's what that blend does. It tends to have a lot of really potent herbs in it, as well as some of the oils, very small quantities. Like the oils are generally used as a tummy tamer, but there are some herbs that we need that we also are not getting in our regular diets. And, think about it. I mean, did you get an herb today? A lot of people, at the end of the day, are like, yeah, what herbs did I get today? There might have been some oregano in that thing I had, but yeah, we're just not getting a lot of herbs, right? So sometimes we need to get some of those trace nutrients that we get in herbs. So this pack contains 3 bottles. I explained each bottle to you. And a person who is about 150 pounds or more would take 4 pills out of each bottle each day, and it's sold to be a 30-day supply. However, if you are small, like I'm small, I weigh 100 pounds. So I take 2 of each. And my thought is, based on what they told us at convention, I would say if you're between 120 and 150 pounds, you could do 3 of each. But generally, most people are going to be taking 4 of each pack each day. And if you start it and you have any reactions to it, like sometimes this is just too much health for somebody right away, then start at 1 a day of each, then 2 a day of each, 3 a day of each, until you get to the required recommended dosage. Because you are making changes in your body. These are nutrients, vitamins that we need, nutrients that we need with the cellular blend. And I know from experience, I can go a couple days, like if I skip a couple days with my vitamins, I'll be okay. But I'll tell you, if 3 or 4 days, if I miss my vitamins for 3 or 4 days, I will definitely start feeling it. And that's when symptoms come back for me. So I know that they are helping me. So it's if you really want to be a good guinea pig for yourself to find out if they're working, you take it for 30 days, then you don't take it for a few days, and then you see a really huge difference because you'll start to notice. And doTERRA does something else. They actually have a 30-day money-back guarantee on this product. If you take it for 30 days and you feel it didn't work, you send back the empty bottles, they'll give you a full refund. So just a little thing. They are really so sure of this product. They designed this to help everybody. And we do see a lot of great benefits from this. You know, our energy levels, if you're dealing with other health issues, you may see a lot of those clearing up, like Bonnie experienced with weight, definitely. And you know, it works by a lot of different factors. You know, again, we talked about reducing stress, right? Big one, getting the proper nutrients, getting your enzymes. These are all very important things for our bodies. And then our bodies can concentrate on the whole losing weight thing, right? So, you know, our lifelong health and vitality really depend on a lot of factors. You know, the diet, the physical activity, weight management, rest, stress management, exposure to toxins. And of course, we got inherited genetic predisposition for disease or wellness. So all of these variables are really beyond our complete control, but we are finding a lot of ways that we can influence these variables that are out there, these things that we're dealing with. So you want your cells to have those essential nutrients. You want the metabolic factors. We want them to perform optimally. Like Bonnie was discussing, it can make a really big difference in your weight loss journey. So now we're going to move away from products and just talk about some lifestyle decisions that will kind of propel you forward. And so, like Bonnie said at the beginning, did she do any exercise? No, of course she didn't. Because if you're over 500 pounds, you're not exercising, and exercise is probably not safe for you. Exercise programs should always be started little by little, especially if you are struggling with other health issues. Let your doctor know what you're doing, that you're doing some exercise and stuff like that. And so after you start doing your vitamins, then you want to start on exercise. So I'm sure we realized that we weren't going to have this discussion without discussing exercise. But again, this is not, it doesn't have to be as bad as you think. And you don't have to consistency is good if you can work in exercise into your daily routine, but it doesn't have to be all forms of exercise all the time. And definitely, no matter what you do, just like with the products that you're using and lifestyle choices and your food choices, don't do something you aren't going to enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, yeah, you may do it for a month, even 6 months to lose weight, but your weight loss is not sustainable because you're not going to be able to sustain the activity that you were doing. So think about activities that you will sustain. So we got to discuss exercise, and let's get the exercise regimen. So exercise has to be fun enough to look forward to, right? So the recommendation out there is really 30 minutes of aerobic exercise 5 days each week. So you need to find something that's enjoyable. And that may seem like a lot, but it is even worse to be tired all the time, to have poor health, to be gaining weight when you don't want to, and to feel uncomfortable, and even to feel a lot of body discomfort because you aren't getting exercise. So try to find a way to get this into your routine. Some of the suggestions we have: you can dance, you can run. Cleaning the house actually is a lot of exercise. If you guys have actually done a really half-hour house cleaning, that can be a lot of exercise right there. You can do spinning if you want to. Zumba can be fun for some people. You may have classes. Younger people might enjoy things like basketball. playing with your kids can be a really great way to get exercise. It can actually be a lot of exercise when you play with your kids. And if anybody has younger kids, that's a lot of exercise just chasing them. So that can be a lot of exercise that counts, right? That can be a lot of exercise for you. Swimming, you know, things like that. And if you want to make it fun and you want to make it sustainable, then you have to make it fun. So, you know, most of us like music, and some of us like audiobooks and things like that too. So find a way that you can enjoy your activity with the things that you already enjoy. So like for me, I have a stepping machine that I use, and it's in front of the TV. So when I'm watching TV, I try to make it a point to do my step exercises while I'm watching TV. So I'm doing two things at once to keep me entertained. If I'm going to go running or something like that, I'm going to, you know, put on some earphones when I'm going running, because I want to listen to some music, or I might want to listen to an audiobook. When I do gardening, I usually play some of the podcasts, like the doTERRA podcasts I like, and there's all kinds of different podcasts. Like this weekend, you know, Dr. Z is doing his Essential Oils of Women series podcast, which is really great. He's talking about all these women issues, which was really awesome. And then next week, I'm going to be doing a podcast series on EMFs. Those are free series that are available online. You can just put them on your phone, you know, just get them up on your phone, and then take your phone out with you gardening, and you can listen to stuff which will keep you doing the activity. And that also is some great, I mean, you don't think it's aerobics, but doing some of these things is really aerobic activity. You work up a sweat, your heartbeat, you know, increases and everything like that, even with like things like gardening and weeding. So there's a lot of different things you can do, but find something that resonates with you so that you will consistently do it. And it can even be, you know, brisk walking if you're able to, and work up to it if you haven't done it in a long time. Other things that will help you in your weight loss journey is something like strength training. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. When you build muscle, when you're building muscle mass, that muscle mass will actually help increase your metabolism. That's how it works. So the more muscle you have, the easier it is for you to lose weight. So you want to incorporate some strength training a few days a week. A lot of people say just 2 or 3 days a week. It doesn't have to be a lot. But strength training, you know, does a few things as we're getting older, especially as women. It really helps prevent osteoporosis. So really good for your body that way as well. And then building our muscle mass, which will help with so many different disorders that we do suffer with, especially in women. So some of those strength training, obviously weight training can be part of it, using weights. You can help strengthen your core with some exercises not using weights, and that would be things like doing push-ups, sideways push-ups, just leaning against doors and stuff, putting your body weight on it. It doesn't have to be really, really serious. And then of course lifting actual weights would be one, or putting on those ankle weights that you can walk around in once in a while, like if you're doing around your tasks around the house. Put on ankle weights, that will help a lot, and wrist weights that they have. Those things will help you to develop better muscles. And muscles take a long time to really be noticeable. It takes a long time to build muscle. What is it? I don't remember what it is. I know it's at least 30 days to start building muscle that you can actually see and stuff like that. So you do need to keep doing it. But listen to your body. Don't strain or pull anything. Don't overdo it. And again, same thing kind of applies here. Only do what you can sustain, because if you're going to just do it to lose a little bit of weight, build a little bit of muscle, but then you aren't going to do it later because it's not fun for you, then you've done very little in the long run, right? You just wasted a lot of time. So you do stuff that you will enjoy. Yoga, Pilates, also there's some strength training exercises that are really kind of a lower impact. And some of those can be nice if you haven't done, like if you haven't pulled up some of those free, they have these yoga things on TV, yoga series and stuff like that. They're totally free. And you can pull them up and participate in some of those. They're usually a half an hour long, and enjoy some of the yoga things, which will really help with relaxing, getting a little bit more flexibility and strength, which will help you in both your weight loss goals and in your body goals. You know, also having a good body, because, you know, after we lose weight, of course, you want to tone the weight that, you know, the muscle in your body that you have left. You want to make sure it's toned as you can, and that will help you tremendously in the future as well, with keeping the muscles strong. So mix it up with weights, you know, yoga, Pilates, or things like that. And it doesn't have to be anything formal if you don't like formal things, but there are a lot of formal things that you can get online for free, or, you know, even on YouTube. There's tons of things. Focus on different parts of your body during each workout, because as we age, you know, certain muscles we don't use anymore. Like the muscles we used when we were little kids, we stopped using them completely. And then you have muscle imbalances that can cause problems as well. So make sure you're toning and tightening, different areas of your body each day. You can focus on things. And, later on, we'll probably, not in this presentation, but I talked a little bit about some of the different things we can do to help our skin. And this is just part of it, getting the good under part, which is your toning, your muscle tone and stuff like that. And then we can work on our skin on top of that. Flexibility, another one of the things that we do. So this can be kind of simple. These are just simple stretches. You can incorporate that into daily things. You can stretch. Like, I tried to get in the habit of every time I go to the bathroom, right after I go to the bathroom, I will wash my hands, and then while I'm standing in front of the sink, I will actually do a few stretches. I lean against the sink and try to do a little bit of like a modified push-up against the sink, so it's not too hard on me. I do a few stretches, stretch out my body, and that is a really good habit to get into and figure out where can you put in these 1 minute, 2 minute stretches throughout the day and make them habits so that it just becomes something you do, right? And that will stretch different parts of your body. I even spend, before I go to bed at night, I get on my toes. I go up, down on my toes to stretch out my feet, because otherwise my feet tend to get sore, especially for a lot of us who, if you work a job where you're walking, standing a lot, you want to get those exercises to help strengthen the other areas of your feet because you're standing on them all day. And that can really help a lot. Use the wall for support if you have to or anything like that. So that is another way. And then we want energy, because it's really hard to work out if you don't have energy, right? Who's been there? Who would much rather, every time you think about working out, you end up sitting on the couch and watching TV because you're just too tired to do it, right? We're working out in our brain. We're like, oh, I know I need to work out. Yeah, I should work out. Can't I just work out by just sitting here? Like in I Dream of Jeannie, she could just do stuff and just cross her arms and blink. We would love to do that. That would be awesome, but we can't. You're going to have to move. So you have to have energy. So if you exercise, you'll find that after you exercise, you actually are more rejuvenated. And this is a really important thing to know. If you haven't done a lot of exercise in a while, you don't remember what it's like. But after you exercise, you tend to be rejuvenated. But the problem is you first have to do the exercise. So we have to get to that point. So first we have to get to point A, which is actually doing the exercise so we can feel the benefits of it afterwards, right? So some of the things we use for enhanced energy are going to be some of the vitamins that we can take or oils, right? So we want to get things done. So if you want to get things done, and let's call it the Get Stuff Done blend. You take a drop of peppermint and a drop of wild orange, and you just put it in the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together and inhale. And that will energize you. It's a very instant energy kind of boost. You can put it in a roller bottle if you want, dilute it with some fractionated coconut oil or carrier oil, and then roll it on the back of your neck, bottom of your feet, and that'll kind of give you a little pick-me-up that will help throughout the day. This is a great one, guys, to have at work. If you're at work and you go through slumps at work, and we've all been there, we all do this, right? But if you have this blend, just put it in your purse and take it out and rub it on you. You can rub it on the sides of your neck. I like to rub things on my pulse points. If I feel like my armpits smell a little bit, I'll rub it in my armpits, because it also happens to be really great for deodorant. So lots of different things you can do. You can diffuse it. So you do want to make sure that the peppermint doesn't get in your eye, because it's a hot oil. If it gets in your eye, you will cry for about 15 minutes. So don't do it. Okay. But it won't hurt you. It won't damage you, but yeah, you'll cry. And then Mito 2 Max. Now this is a supplement I really enjoy. And this is one I use, because like I said, I struggled on and off with fibromyalgia, and I believe I've conquered it, but I do use Mito 2 Max each day as well. Really good for energy and stamina. Super good, because I can tell on days when I skipped it. I'll start to get that, afternoon kind of slump where I'm not feeling quite as energetic. But it really helps, for the body to adapt really quickly to the diverse activities of our life, and helps to increase mental energy. That's a whole nother thing, right? And it keeps working whether if you want to stay up to watch a movie marathon, or you want to run a marathon, whatever, you can use something like Mito 2 Max. I tend to use it just once a day, and I use it in the morning. Some people do well if they use it again in the afternoon, during the afternoon slump, especially if they're super busy, high-stress people. They do better with twice a day. So you can use it once or twice a day. And I just take one pill. So those are some of your natural energy. Again, all natural food sources. Then we want to manage the stress that we do have. So the final step in losing weight is we have to manage our stress. Stress is evil. Stress is a horrible thing. It does the worst things to our body. It breaks down our body. The release of cortisol and what it does to our body is just phenomenally bad. And stress can be manageable, but it's hard. We live in a very stressful society. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of things beyond our control. Well, especially now, we're all sitting home with COVID, right? So COVID's out there and we're trying to stay safe, and we've been ordered to stay home. And so a lot of us are under stress because of that. We want to go out. I want to go dancing. I want to go out and do something. So a lot of us are feeling stressed because we're stuck at home. Other people are feeling stressed because they're terrified they're going to get this COVID, right? So we do not want to have that kind of stress affect our bodies. We have to manage that. And that means that you need to relax. You need to force yourself to relax. You have to find something that you can do that will relax you. And for some people, it's meditation, which is nice because you just get to sit there. So that's a nice one, right? For some people, it might be a nice light walk or just sitting outside. Because if we're go all the time, our adrenals will get fatigued and then our health suffers. So we have to renew. We need that rest. And so we need a few things. We need the rest, which is sitting somewhere and just relaxing. A cat nap is good, a little bit of meditation. Some people do really well relaxing because of reading books, like a nice, relaxing book that will help a lot of people relax. You can lay out in a hammock, lay out in the sun a little bit, maybe 10 minutes. So you just need to do something to relax. If you have a partner, make them massage you for 10 minutes. Have them massage your back for 10 minutes. Or even a facial massage, right? Have somebody do that for you and just live in the moment and relax. It doesn't take long to relax. Try to do it at least once a day. That's your time. That will rejuvenate your body, your mind, and it really brings out kind of renewed you, right? And don't try to rest your body while your mind continues to go like a mile, million miles an hour. You take deep breaths, relax your mind as well as your body. Taking this time to relax and rest will help you manage your stress. So I was told a long time ago, I don't remember who told me this, but about 90% of the things we stress about never happen anyway. So why are we worrying, right? So if you're sitting there stressing, oh my gosh, I might get COVID and die. Don't think that, right? If you don't think about it, don't worry about it and just do what you're told, right? Then you don't have to stress about it. So stop stressing about all these things. And, sometimes it happens. I mean, I'm human too, and these things happen, and there are things that stress me, and I'm like, why am I stressing about this? It's probably not going to happen anyway. But you hear those people. We all know those people, right? They come up with the worst case scenario of everything. Well, what if? Well, you know what? It hasn't happened, so let's not talk about it. You're just stressing yourself for no reason whatsoever. My kids do it all the time. They're young adult women, and I know young adult women are a pain in the butt because they stress about every little thing. They're always, oh yeah, I'm stressed about this. And I think, okay, so what's the worst case? Okay, so you get a D. Yeah, I'm not going to be happy about you getting a D. You're not going to be happy about you getting a D. But really, is it going to change your life? I mean, yeah, you might even have to take a class again, but really, in the grand scheme of things, is that really a lot? It's not. And ruining your life over it and getting overstressed about it is not a good survival mechanism, So we don't want to, constantly be in stress. And that's where essential oils are huge. Because remember, there's a lot of essential oils that help with the management of the feelings of stress. When you have anxious feelings, when you're stressed, there are a lot of oils that can really help with that. And then, of course, lifestyle is always a big portion of it. So at this point, we're all ready. Who's ready to lose weight? Yeah, we're ready to lose weight. I'm down to my last few pounds that I want to lose. And luckily, like I said, I'm 100 pounds. My biggest I've ever been is 112 pounds. So, but 112 pounds on a 100-pound person is a lot, actually. And I had to lose that weight because it didn't look good and it didn't feel good. And it made me slow and it made me lethargic and tired. So getting rid of it feels great because then I have so much more energy. So remember what's at the other end of this rainbow. And then don't set yourself goals that are not achievable or just too lofty. Set yourself small goals as you go through this because these have to be permanent changes. So you can't set yourself the goal of, okay, I'm never going to have ice cream again. If you eat ice cream pretty regularly, that's not sustainable. Just eat ice cream less. And you'll find that if you eat something less and less, eventually you don't crave it anymore. It's something that your body just doesn't seem to want anymore. You find substitutes, I guess, because all of a sudden it's not your regular thing. And a lot of these things are habits. Get rid of those habits. So, eat right, exercise regularly, perform stress-reducing activities. Use the Slim and Sassy to help you. Nobody needs to lose weight in a vacuum. You don't need to do this all by yourself. There's tons of things that can help you out there. A lot of it is going to be some products, certain things that help rebalance your body, help you to get the vitamins that you need so your body isn't constantly craving food. If you get a chance to go to Bonnie's event, that'll help. And you know what we do in doTERRA is we try to set up goals for ourselves, and then we get accountability partners. There's nothing, it is so much easier to do something when you do it with somebody else. So if you're trying to lose weight and you get somebody to lose weight with you, whether you meet them online or whatever, and even through Bonnie's group even, I don't know if she's done this, but setting yourself up with a partner is going to make that journey so much easier. Even better if your partner is your spouse. But if you don't have that option, you know, partner up with somebody else online and say, hey, these are our goals. This is what we want to do. And then be accountable to that person. Check in with them once a week and say, okay, this is what I've achieved this week. I no longer drink soda every day. I was able to say no to ice cream 6 of the days, you know, and on the 7th day I indulged a little bit. Or I managed to eat my food and leave 5 bites on the plate. There you go. There's a good one, right? If you're eating unhealthy food, go ahead, leave some bites. It's not the end of the world. You know, let yourself not eat everything. So everybody deserves to be healthy. You know, we need to be healthy. We deserve to be healthy, and we do know how to do it. It's hard. We all know it's hard. So, you know, if you don't feel good, if you have an unhappy belly, if you're bloated, there might be a chance that you're dealing with sugar cravings. You have dull skin, you have poor sleep, extra weight, fog brain, you know, all of these things are the symptoms, you know, telling you that, look, you're not in perfect health. You shouldn't feel like this. You don't have to feel like this. You need to get your health back. And there's a lot of ways that you can do it, right? So now you're thinking, everybody's thinking, okay, now what? Now what? Here, let's go to what we can actually do. Okay, so we gave you some keys on what you can do. If you're really excited about doTERRA now and you're like, oh yeah, I think I really want to do this. And like I see a lot of you guys are members on my team already. You're already getting doTERRA at wholesale. So here's a whole bunch of ways that you can change, you know, change your life and do it without breaking the bank, right? Because none of us have extra money. If anybody does, I'll give you my address when we're done, okay? But for most of us, we don't have extra money, and we have to be careful how we spend our dollars, right? So spend them carefully. So what we do in doTERRA is you can become a wholesale member of doTERRA. You can buy all your products at wholesale. Now, a wholesale member saves 25% off initially. They also get free product credits. So they save another 10% off them initially. If you're in Canada, you actually can start at 30% off initially if you sign up in May, which is 2 more days, yeah, till tomorrow night, because doTERRA is running a special just for Canada. And what happens is you start saving about 64%. So when you're fully in the program, you'll save 64% of all your product purchases by being a member. And you get all kinds of freebies, you get all kinds of help. We support each other in whatever our goals are. And so that is something that you can do. Of course, you can always buy them at full retail. Nobody complains about that if you want to do that. But a lot of people like the membership because it's like Costco. It's $42 for membership in Canada. It's $35 in the US. And you can get a free membership if you buy any of the kits. So if you're going to be buying some kit, like if you're going to buy the Slim and Sassy kit or something like that, then you can get your membership for free. And different leaders will give you different free items when you join as well. So like if you join with me or Bonnie, we'll work on getting you, freebies for joining because we're always having different specials like that. So again, the way you can do doTERRA, you can do full retail. You can pay a membership fee and get them at 25% off. Or you can purchase an enrollment kit and get it for free. And then, of course, you save extra money when you're working with doTERRA and you're on the regular program where you're buying the products regularly. So what doTERRA has for us who are trying to lose weight is, of course, the Slim and Sassy line, a lot of the supporting oils that we talked about, a lot of the supporting nutrients and vitamins that we talked about. They also have a complete line of natural skincare, hair care, and things like that because, we're trying to reduce our toxic load. So every time you put a poison, let's say a regular product you buy at Walmart, on your skin, and it has these ingredients like fragrance and all these other ingredients in them, you are increasing your toxic load. Toxic load will make you gain weight. It's just a fact. It does. And there's hormonal reasons why that happens. And also your body's need to get rid of the toxins and making your liver work to get rid of those toxins. So I do want to share with you some of the things that I have going on right now. I am a member of Diamond Club right now in doTERRA, and that means I have personal goals that I have to meet. So because it's during Diamond Club, if you join doTERRA as a wholesale member during Diamond Club, you get these free products. If you do a 100 PV order, you get that Citrus Bliss. If you do a 300 or more PV order, you get a Citrus Bliss and a free Adaptive. So these are free products you get extra because I'm in Diamond Club. So even if you join on Bonnie's team, same thing, you get the same special. She will just have you go through my Diamond Club. Because you came to this event, you get to have this option. I want to show you this quick video to explain the 3 options in doTERRA. So obviously I do this as a business, and you probably all see that I'm doing this as a business, right? You don't have to do doTERRA as a business. You can simply buy the products wholesale. Most of our people, that's what they do, right? They buy the products wholesale. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to share with you this video. Let me see if I can pull it up. Where's that one? Where was it? It's on there. Okay. So let me share my screen again. This is a really short video. It's a minute and a half, so it's super easy. And this is on YouTube. Anybody can see this. But this is the video. Tell me, can you hear it and see it or not?
doTERRA offers product through a yearly wholesale membership. For a low membership fee of $35, a wellness advocate will be able to purchase products at wholesale prices 25% below retail. A new wellness advocate can choose to enroll with just the $35 enrollment fee, or doTERRA offers several product kits as enrollment options. If you purchase an enrollment kit, not only will the membership fee be waived, but you will receive a substantial discount on doTERRA products. We have found that as new wellness advocates experience the purity and potency of doTERRA essential oils and essential oil wellness products, they naturally are inclined to share their experiences and the products with others. To help you on your journey, doTERRA has included in your enrollment packet 3 brochures: Living, Sharing, and Building doTERRA Naturally. Meet with the individual who invited you today to review enrollment options and choose the best fit for you.
Okay, so that is just kind of a little bit about what your choices are as far as doTERRA goes. So again, you don't have to enroll at any specific time. Think about it and think about what you want to do in your weight loss journey. If you want to use these products to help you along. And until you're ready to join as a wellness advocate or wholesale member, go ahead and go to did she put it in the chat? I don't know if it's here yet. Let me check. Was she able to get that? You got it?
I was able to put in the chat the Zoom link. If you click that, it'll take you to the registration page to give you all the information because of everything that's happened in the world. There are crazy people out there who needed to put security involved for Zoom. So you have to click the link, and then you'll get the information on how to join the call on Monday.
Okay, and that is something, guys, you can do. There's no requirement to join. You are always welcome to come to any of our events just to learn more. You don't ever have to be a member. You don't even have to use essential oils if you don't want to. I mean, we are just sharing information. I'm sharing information. Bonnie's sharing information. Bonnie's on my team. Obviously, Bonnie, if people come to your group, I am more than happy to help them along with that whole process. And I want them to be able to go to your groups and learn how to lose weight. I think that's a really great group that you have going on there. And I hope people will actually take advantage of that because it's wonderful. That
Absolutely. And they get both of us. I mean, I've invited people that are on this call. So for those of you that came here through me, I just want you to know that you get both of us. If you sign up on my team, you get me and Jen.
And Cricket.
So,
forget Cricket.
And you get Cricket also. So because we're kind of like a family, and that's just the way we do things. And we'll love on you even if you don't join doTERRA. If you just want some information, or if you want to buy retail, I don't know why you would want to pay 25% too much. But if you want to pay retail, go right ahead, and we'll still love on you. Somebody did mention how to get products. Please contact the person who invited you to this event, and tell them, hey, okay, I think I want some products. Throw products at me. because I want to throw money at you. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. I met Jenny on a video game. She changed her name to doTERRA Jen, and I just like swamped her with questions. And bless her heart, she's been in doTERRA for like 3 days. She was like, I got this crazy woman asking me questions, and she went to Cricket. This crazy woman asking me all these questions, and Cricket was like, okay, well, I'll love on her for you. And so Cricket loved on me for Jenny. I'm on Jenny. I love Jenny. I do a lot. Jenny and I do a lot together. And guess what? That puts me on Cricket's team too. If you become a wholesale customer, you get a whole lot of loving. And it doesn't cost you anything to get loving.
Well, it's all about education. You know, we're trying to educate people because we all have problems. We all have different things that we're trying to solve. That's why we gravitate towards the oils. And some of them are simple. I mean, weight loss, you know, that's kind of a huge problem. It's kind of an underlying condition, and it can be caused by weight gain is caused by so many different things. You know, our environment, if you're on medications, that can cause weight gain. Some of it's psychological. If we're dealing with issues, sometimes that can cause weight gain. So when we're looking at, you know, what do we do? How do we unravel this? Because we don't want to go down this downward spiral where we are gaining weight, we're heavy, and then we're getting old too, because getting old is hard enough, right? So we don't need to add more to it. I'm in the go getting old. I'm 56 years old, you know, and I cannot imagine having even more of a burden on my body as I'm aging, because we're all heading that direction, right? So, you know, as soon as we can, we want to take control of these things. And essential oils help with, I mean, they can help with everything. Can they fix everything? Probably not. Maybe, I don't know, if we find the right oils, maybe. But they do help with so many of the basic things that we're dealing with in our day-to-day life. But they have to be super potent. So if you've bought oils at the store, you probably haven't actually experienced the benefits of what oils can actually do for you when they are therapeutic, more of like a medical grade type of thing. And doctors are starting to open their eyes and say, oh, wait a minute, there's something to this. There's another option. There's another way that we can go instead of doing all these synthetics. And so hopefully we're hoping that, you know, over time, essential oils will become a very big way of life. And it's really unfortunate that we haven't learned about these, let's say in high school. We had all that extra time. I feel like I wasted a lot of time in class. I was asleep for some of it, so I must have wasted time, right? So we wasted all this time in high school. We could have learned this stuff. We could have learned that there were other options. And it would have been really nice to know that our bodies respond to many different things, herbs, oils, food. I mean, all these things really have a lot to do with how we develop as people and with the you know, issues and problems that we have. And we can unravel that. Like Bonnie said, she's off so many meds because that's what she did. She had to unravel all these different conditions that have affected her throughout a good portion of her life. And she did that. And she's still doing that, right? We're all doing that. Nobody's perfect, and we're all unraveling the damage we're doing. And, you know, we will continue to damage our bodies. I mean, you know, be honest. Nobody's going to have an absolutely perfect diet because we're people, and that's just not fun. So we are going to indulge a little bit, but we use the oils to help us when we do, if we overindulge. Like I use oils on Thanksgiving Day. I make sure I have my oils with me because there's no way in the world I'm not going to enjoy that Thanksgiving dinner. I've had that same Thanksgiving dinner since the day I was born. You know, we're tradition and we have that same meal, and it is a lot of food, and I'm not giving up that. So instead, what do? I enjoy myself. I spend the day pigging out, you know, and then at the end of the day, or during the day, if I'm uncomfortable, I start using my oils to help with that discomfort so that I can enjoy that time, because we don't want to not enjoy ourselves. And if you go to the fair, assuming we ever have a fair again, what if we ever have fairs again? And you go to the fair and you want that really good fair food? I know that we just found out we may lose our fair forever in my county because of COVID, which will be really unfortunate because I love the fair. Who doesn't love the fair? You eat really weird food. What?
Jenny, this is the difference between South Carolina and California. We're having a fair starting on Monday.
Seriously? Oh my God. We might lose ours.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's very different. You know, wherever you live, it's different in different places, of course. They're very strict in California, and the laws here are terrible. And if I could find this weather anywhere else, I would move. I'd really love to live in Canada. I like the rules better. So if I could move up to Canada and find a really warm place, I would totally do that. But I haven't found if that place even exists, unfortunately. I might be one of those people who be half a year here and half a year there kind of thing, because I like the good weather, but I really don't like the laws here. But, you know, things will change after COVID makes its rounds and people kind of stabilize everything. Then things will change and we'll go back to the things that we used to do. And what did we do in the summer? We all went to the fair. And I don't know about you guys, but every once in a while you do want a donut wrap pickle for whatever reason, just because it's really cool. I don't know, but we get some really cool foods at the fair. We know they're not good for us, but we don't have to suffer, because for some of us, and we know it's going to happen too, you get that food and you say, yeah, I'm going to eat this food even though I know it's really going to hurt later. I mean, how many of you done that? You've eaten a food that you know that you're going to pay for eating that food. Yeah, we've done it. That's so true. Is it Mari? Is that how you pronounce your name, Mari?
Yes, hello. I am Maripaz. I live in Mexico, and
Okay.
the situation right here is not very different. But thank you for all of you, Jenny,
Yeah.
for all this
And
information.
if I don't know if you, are you a member of doTERRA already?
Yes, I'm a member right
Okay.
here. I live in here, Mexico City. Yes, thank you, but
Okay.
yes, I'm already a member.
Good, good. Yeah, one of my our live-in friend is also from the outskirts of Mexico City. We send a lot of product down there to his parents and stuff like that. So yeah, we have people on our team from all over, or you may be on a different team, and that's fine. So reach out to your leaders on your team. If you're already on a team, if you're not on a team, then get on a team, you know, because that team is there to help you, as well as the other teams that are out there. I mean, we are all a doTERRA family, and our job, our mission, really, let's say, it's not really a job, I mean, it's our job, but our mission in life is to educate people and to help people benefit from their memberships, to benefit from the products. Because, you know, for me, I think if everybody was using essential oil products to solve most of their problems, I believe that we'd have a much better world, because people would be healthier, you know, and people would be happier. And so it is really important that we find a way to share with more people and get people off of that medication wheel that comes out of the medical profession. We do not, you know, we don't want to support that. We are really against that as much as possible. Not that we, you know, medicine has its place, and there are times that you need medicine. But if we can use essential oils to not need the medicine, that's even better, because then we solve the problems right away. So yeah, thank you so much for guys for coming. If anybody wants to talk to me separately, I'm available. You just, all of you were able to get here, which means you got my email, so you have my contact information, so you can reach out to me. And of course, if you want to go to Bonnie's group to learn more about her weight loss journey, and of course, you know, how you can also get on your own weight loss journey if that is your key goal. But I'll tell you, I mean, even for me, who, like I said, I don't need to lose much weight. And when I lost 5 pounds, it feels different. 5 pounds feels amazingly different when it comes to energy, the amount of energy you have during the day. It's amazing, just 5 pounds. And, you know, and so you can imagine if it's 10, 20, and in Bonnie's case, I mean, when you're losing over 250 pounds, can you imagine the change in your energy level? I mean, just absolutely phenomenal. So we're all on that same journey. So I'm gonna let you guys go. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time to ask them. Just unmute yourself and ask me any questions if you guys have anything else you want to say. Anybody?